You've probably tried drawing water before and it just refused to look transparent no matter what you did, right? Well, not anymore. In this tutorial, I'll show you how to make water look soft, glossy and real using just a pencil, eraser and a few secret tricks most artists never share. Let's start from the forehead area where the first drip begins to form. Lightly sketch the droplet shape with your B pencil by keeping your pressure soft and variable. Some areas should stay light and others darker to build a smooth 3D base. Keep in mind that real water never has perfect edges. This step maps the path your droplet will follow, making shading and blending much easier later. Most artists skip it and end up guessing the form, which makes the drip look pasted on instead of natural. Now let's start adding the highlights, and all you need is any sharp tip eraser. And here I am using a mono zero eraser with a flat edge and lifting the highlight. Don't make the whole drip equally bright. The bottom should glow the most and the top should softly fade into the skin. That transition is what makes water look alive. You can also use a perfection eraser for the after areas just like the way I'm doing here. But the mono zero eraser with a round tip and lighter pressure will also give you the same result. If you don't have a fancy eraser, just slice a normal one with a sharp blade and you'll have your DIY mono zero. It works exactly the same if you keep the edge clean and firm. You can also add some strokes for the skin texture here and there to give the skin a wet look. For extra realism, you can pop these small dots of random sizes using an electric eraser on the side of the forehead where there is hair naturally. These act like little droplets resting on the hair, making the drawing feel alive. And if you don't have an electric eraser, just use a white gel pen or even a corrector pen you use in school. You'll get the same clean shine. Make sure to vary both their size and brightness because if they all look the same, the area will feel flat and artificial. Real droplets catch light differently, so mix in a few bright ones and a few softer ones. That contrast makes them blend naturally into the drawing instead of looking like they're just sitting on top of the paper. The drips on the nose and lips are always the most dramatic. So let's firstly tackle the nose one, and for that, let's shade the area using graphite powder matching the tones from your reference. Here's a common mistake many beginner artists make is shading directly with a pencil, where you'll need bright highlights later. Pencil graphite digs deep into the paper's tooth, making it almost impossible to lift cleanly afterward. Powder, on the other hand, sits on the surface, so you can easily erase or lift it later to create those crisp, glowing highlights that make the droplet pop. Now grab your flat tip eraser and start lifting graphite from the right edge of the droplet. Add a few curved strokes to mimic those tiny ripples water naturally creates. Mix in some softer highlights too using your eraser. I'm using a perfection eraser here, but you can get similar results with any precise eraser as long as you keep the pressure low. So don't stress about fancy tools. It's all in the technique, not the price tag. Now to create the droplet, just add a clean, bright curve with your eraser and then a small shadow right under it using your B pencil. That shadow is what makes it pop off the paper. It's a simple trick but works every single time. By the way, if you're a complete beginner and you keep throwing away your drawings because you feel like you just can't draw, it's not your fault. You just don't know the basics yet. And that's exactly why I made this full course, to help you go from shaky lines to realistic drawings step by step. It covers everything from basic lessons to advanced techniques, tips and tricks, all structured in a clear step-by-step format, so you don't have to guess your way through it. Thousands of students are already learning and growing through the course, and I put my course on sale for 5 days every month just for my YouTube family. Check the link in the description or comments to see if the sale is live right now, and get enrolled before it ends. Now let's add brighter, sharper highlights on the opposite side of the drip to make it pop even more. I'm using a jelly roll pen, but if you don't have one, that white correction pen from your school bag works just as well. These bright touches are what give the droplet its sparkle as they act like tiny reflections of light bouncing off the surface, making it look wet and alive. Just remember, less is more. One perfectly placed bright spot can do what 10 random ones can't. Now let's move on to the dramatic part, which is the chin drips. Drag your mono zero down slowly to create clean flowing streaks. Add a tiny bright circle using an electric eraser at the very tip of the drip to show that moment right before it's about to fall. Just that little hold your breath drop of suspense. You can add a few more around it if you like, but know when to stop. Too many will make it look less like a drop and more like your drawing just caught the rain. Think of it like adding sprinkles to a cupcake. A few make it look delicious, but dump the whole jar and it's chaos. Since the background here is almost pitch black, you can safely go around any chunky highlights with your 8B pencil to make them look thinner and crisp. This little trick instantly makes the droplets look refined and professional. And honestly, most artists won't tell you this one, but I am, because I don't keep my techniques secret on this channel. Now top off these drips with a few brighter highlights to make them pop beautifully against the dark background. Think of it like adding that final sparkle to a gemstone. Just a few precise touches and suddenly everything comes to life. Alright, here's the secret recipe for creating a perfect water droplet using just 2 tools. And trust me, it works like magic every single time. Once your base layer is ready, grab an eraser with a sharp tip and add a curved highlight at the bottom of the droplet. I'm using an electric eraser here, but if you don't have one, no worries. Just slice the edge of a regular eraser with a blade and boom. Your DIY precision eraser is ready. That's your shine zone, the part that makes it look like real water sitting on the skin. Then flick your eraser upward softly to build a smooth gradient. This creates the shape and that glossy illusion. This tiny bright dot is like the cherry on top of a sundae. It's small, but it's what makes the whole thing irresistible. Extend a few longer highlights along the path the drip is taking. This makes it look like the water is actually sliding down the skin, catching light as it moves. If you want to level it up even more, drop in a few jelly roll highlights right on top, and there you go. A few simple steps and you'll have a jaw-dropping droplet. Alright, now it's time for some quick rescue tricks in case things go wrong. If your water looks patchy, don't panic. Load a little graphite powder on your blending stump and blend it in gentle circles. Then relift your highlights. Small corrections build realism much faster than trying to fix it all in one go. Here's something most artists don't tell you. Water is never outlined. The moment you draw a full border, it stops looking like water and starts looking like glass stickers. Instead, darken only one side of the droplet with your B pencil and keep the other edge soft and blended. That one trick alone can make your droplets look like they're sitting on the skin, not printed on it. Whenever you feel lost, remember this rule, which is to keep one side dark and the other soft. Also, don't forget to clean your erasers often. A dirty eraser is like a dirty brush. It never gives clean light. And if any drop looks flat, just add a small shadow on the opposite side. It's magic every time. If your drip looks too prominent, just grab a kneaded eraser, dab lightly and reset your tones. So there you go, that's how I create realistic water on portraits using just pencils, erasers and patience. Every single trick you saw today is something I learned the hard way. And I promise, if you follow these steps, your next drawing will surprise you. Remember, tools don't make an artist. Your hand, your pressure and your patience do. I just launched the AHR Studios Academy, so if you're an absolute beginner and want to learn drawing from scratch, you can join my course here for 90% off. So thank you so much for watching and I'll see you in the next one.